because it's easy to be against something. You don't want to just be against something, you want to be for something. You want to feel like we can still come together and meet the challenges of a nation. And we've got big challenges. Everywhere I go, I hear stories of struggle and I hear stories of hardship. And just this afternoon, we had a little round table, me and 4 or 5 other women who had come together. They were mostly in their 50s. Many of them had lost their jobs, or they were trying to figure out how to get out of huge, back-breaking healthcare bills. One woman had just been disabled, and so she had lost her health insurance. Another was her mother was 95 years old. She was having to look after her, which meant that the 2 jobs she had, now she was only working 1. And, you know, listening to their stories, one of them started to cry. The other started tearing up because, as one woman described it, they had done everything their whole lives to build security for their families. They had played by the rules, they had worked hard, they had saved, and now they were just on the edge of not having anything. And they said to me, one woman said, how'd she put it? She said, all my life I never thought I'd find myself in these circumstances. I bought the American dream hook, line, and sinker. And now I'm finding that it's vanishing, it's slipping through my fingers. There are a lot of people in Ohio who feel that way. You know, who feel as if the American dream is slipping away. All across this state and all across this country, you'll meet people who have seen the equipment on the factory floor where they worked for 20 years suddenly unbolted and shipped off to China. And suddenly they don't have a job, they don't have a pension, they don't have health care, and they're having to figure out how to make it on a $7 an hour job at a local fast food place. All across this country, you meet people, senior citizens who are taking only half a prescription because they can't afford the full prescription. Doesn't matter what the doctor tells them, this is all they got. They don't have enough money. All across this country, you meet teachers who are digging into their own pockets to buy school supplies for underfunded schools. All across this country, you are meeting young people who have the grades, the will, the drive to go to college, but just don't have the money, so they're taking out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 worth of debt. I mean, they're already broke before they even find a job. People are having a tough time out there, and you know, people don't expect government to solve all their problems. You don't expect that. You know you've got to work hard. You know that you've got to be self-reliant. I don't know a lot of people who are just sitting back waiting for government to solve their problems. But people do feel like if they get sick, if they have some bad luck, if they get laid off, that there's going to be something there to help them out, somebody to reach down and say, come on. And that's not what they're getting from their government. They don't feel like anybody's listening to them. And they're right, because Washington has become so dominated by the wealthy and the powerful and those who can hire lobbyists and the big corporations that nobody feels like they've got any influence over their own elected officials. All across this country, I meet veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan who are proud of their service, and rightfully so, because they've done everything that's been asked of them. They have performed magnificently. But you know what? But they wonder if their government is serving them as well as they are serving us. Because, you know, they think about the buddies that they've seen left behind. Sometimes I meet homeless and disabled veterans who wonder how it is that this country could have forgotten their service so quickly. Sometimes at rope lines like this one, after a rally, I'll meet a mother who is mourning the death of her son or daughter. One just in Wisconsin a week ago gave me this bracelet for her son Ryan, killed a roadside bomb, 20 years old. Gave me a hug, tears coming down her cheeks. Now that's what people are seeing in America today. And so they know that we have to take a new direction, that for ordinary workers, for ordinary Americans, that the current path is not working. And what I tell people is that I am willing and able to work alongside you, that I am in this to fight for you and to give a voice to you, to champion your cause. But I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. Because, remember what I said, change doesn't happen from the top down, it happens from the bottom up. And so it only works if you, the American people, are ready for change. But if you are ready for change, if you believe that change is possible, then we can go ahead and tell the lobbyists that their days of setting the agenda in Washington are over. Because they have not funded my campaign, they will not run my White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I'm President of the United States of America.